2001. Neil took over the finance and administration of the association, and over the past 19 years he's done an absolutely magnificent job through a number of changes, a number of developments and movements of the association over those years. He's had that tightly knitted together, and he's marshalled the board to make sure that we delivered on those budgets, on those finances, and everything over that 20 years. Now, having said that, at the AGM every couple of years, or every year, we have a finance report. And over the years, our line was sort of going like this, moving its way up, and it was quite distressing to me that those years when the line dipped beneath what we should be making, that Neil was unavailable to present the financial report, and yours truly would have to do it. It only happened on 2 or 3 occasions, but we did manage to gloss our way through. Neil's been involved in local government way back from Port Phillip in the early days, progressing through to Whittlesea, honing his craft as a very astute manager, and then moving across to Brimbank, where he's currently a director over there. And he has been not only a good servant of the MWA, past MWA, but he's been a good comrade and a great support to all the board members over the journey. So before I ask Neil to say a few words, that's where one story ends and a completely different story begins. Now, as Pete mentioned before, I cast my mind back to, I think it was about 2005, one of our national conferences up at Shepparton. And I was convener of the day, and by about 11 o'clock, I was done. I wanted to go back, take the suit off and get changed and join the rest of the interstate and local Victorian delegates at a watering hole. I'd gone back to a motel, taken the suit off, and it was about a K1.5, 2K walk back to where this particular establishment was. I think it was called Rawhide from memory, just a nice little watering hole. And if anyone's been to Shepparton, I've been going back this 15, 16 years, it was after 10 o'clock at night, it was very dark and dingy, and I remember I was walking along and there was a bloke walking towards me who was staggering a bit, and I sort of straightened up so I come near him, and it was one of the Tasmanian guys who I quickly recognised and pointed him in the way where the motel was. He was done for the night. So I continued on my journey, and across the road I saw 4 wandering, in those days, young men, of which I immediately noticed the leaner, somewhat portly stature of Mr. Neil Whiteside, with 3 cohorts, and I yelled out, "Is that you, Whitey?" He said, "Oh, heck, gee whiz, we're trying to find where this watering hole is." I said, "Follow me, my son, I'm like the Pied Piper." So off we went. And we rolled up at the establishment, and it was good that so many of our Victorian and interstate delegates were there to enjoy a night of fellowship and some good stories that eventuated from there. So again, just on that note, I'll hand across to Neil, but we have nothing but good words for Neil. He's been a very, very astute member of the board and excellent over the journey. So thank you very much, and join me in congratulating Neil on his life.
Well, thanks, Shane. Don't let the truth get in the way of that story, but you run with it. I think it was me that was actually taking you back the other way. But anyway, we'll move on. But like, in all seriousness, look, it's an absolute honour to receive life membership tonight for the MWA. Obviously, most of my time was as the MWOA. And I think my first meeting of the MWA was actually early 2000s. And one of my former workmates, Derek, said, "Hey, Whitey, why don't you come along to one of these meetings?" I said, "Oh, no worries, sounds good." He said, "Oh, you'll have a great time." At the end of the meeting, apparently I was on the committee. No one actually told me that that's what was happening. But 20-odd years later, I'm still involved heavily, obviously, with the board. To be honest, I've had so much enjoyment, so much friendship out of it. People like Shane, Derek, Stephen, I said to myself, don't name me, I should forget someone, but Lynn Undy, of course, who's not here tonight, our chair, a whole range of people Peter Young, who's not here, but also the board members who are all here tonight. And over many, many years, from my perspective, I've given a fair bit as a board member, but I've got back in spades a whole range more. So it's an absolute honour to be given life membership tonight. I'm certainly still committed very much to the board and the association. It is so fantastic to see tonight and today go ahead. You know, I've got to say, I've worked with Steve Robertson as the former CEO, who did an amazing job over many, many years, and Peter, who's taken up the position and really has made today happen with the committee and all the board members. And my final shout out, because Shane talked about me taking the role and lead with some of the finances. The real finance director is sitting down the front here, Mandy, who's done an amazing job and prompts me and tells me what to do. So Mandy, it's as much yours as mine, so thank you. And to all my fellow board members, thank you for the nomination and for actually giving me life membership. It means a lot, it really does. And I just want to say to everyone, thanks so much. Really appreciate all the sponsors who've been so loyal over so many years, Tim and your crew, obviously, for the conference, but all of the other sponsors who are so supportive over many, many years. We couldn't do it without you. And obviously all my colleagues in local government. This really is about giving you the opportunity to network and to develop. And I really enjoy seeing people every year, and I've missed it over the last 12 months so much. So thanks everyone, I really appreciate it.